And we're back with the first ever video, but still normal audio podcast for Across the Board. Like I said, we're joined by John Kaufman as always. Now you guys can see him, the
Woohoo!
mysterious stranger.
How you doing?
Uh, we're gonna this is our first one obviously, so we're gonna walk the ropes of trying to remember this is on video. Hopefully we're doing the video part right. This is 22 and can't figure out technology.
The
And
ideal.
still getting you guys on the audio. Make sure you don't miss out on anything. Today, like I said, we're doing a Browns mock draft. We're gonna show my screen so you can see what we're doing. John and I, we're basically geniuses, so you're gonna want to know. But first, speaking of geniuses, I am not one. But I did go 3-0 last night. If you listen to my best bets for the NBA, I have bad nights. I have addressed those. But last night was a good night. And if you go to Bovada and you go to our website, atvsports.net, which you can see right now if you're watching, and you click on this little, not little, it's freaking massive. It takes up the whole screen. You click on it, it'll take you to this nice little thing. You'll be like, what? Pops up, says Jason has referred you. That's my dad, because I already had an account, so I had to set it up that way. Thank you, Dad.
Way to go, Dad. Way to go.
But you'll get 50% bonus on your first deposit. That is free money. You deposit $100, you get $150. Go willy-nilly. Spend it all in one bet. I don't care what you do.
Wait a
But
second. If I use this code and I put money in, I just get free money?
you get free money, John.
Free
You
money
get
for free.
free money for free. And then
Wow.
if you listen to us talk when we do our
Yeah.
best bet shows,
Yeah.
you get more free money.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
more free money.
How could this seems like the best deal ever?
It does.
I would say it sounds too good to be true, but I know it to be true, so it sounds just good enough to be perfect.
Yeah. And I want to give a quick shout out. I'm going to move the webcam. Hopefully this doesn't go ass backwards. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It is a dog pound thing that my sister made. It's
Oh,
hard to see with
nice.
the lights off. But when the actual lights are on, it's the dog pound with Swagger's face. She made that in IT because she is better with tools than I am. Awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah, so thank you, Sierra. But John, without further ado, first of all, we should start doing some more best bets pods. Those were fun.
Yep.
Fun. But
Yep. Can't wait.
we are here to bring the glorious fans a Browns mock draft. We've been away from the Browns for a little too long, and I think people they're missing out on it. Which we will be joined by Brendan Leister next week, and maybe another Cleveland special guest. But we'll be talking about free agency with them. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff coming, man. We got Brendan Leister coming on the pod to talk about free agency. We're going to get that one out just before NFL free agency starts. So we'll be recording during the legal tampering period. So hopefully there'll be some inkling, some news, little, teams are dropping hints or whatever. But that'll be good. And then the day before that, Chandler, we obviously you and I are going to record a how to win your March Madness pool podcast. So
Yep.
that's going to be great because there are a few simple things that everybody can do to instantly improve their chances to win their pool. And we're going to fill you in on that. So, yeah, big week coming up. This is exciting.
Now you see why I've surrounded myself by John. Surround yourself with smarter people than yourself. It really helps people. It helps you keep you on your toes. And we will be doing that. Hopefully, I haven't asked John this, but hopefully we'll be starting to do all these in video. I've already noticed we've been doing this for 5 minutes, and it's so much easier to talk.
Yeah.
I know when you want. It's so much easier.
When I'm
And it's
dying
easier to
say
stay
something.
focused. Yeah, like when
like-
I'm talking too much and you're probably just sitting there doing nothing. Hey, John, I'm sorry. You gave me a little subtle cue. You want to talk?
Oh, yeah, please. Thank you. It's my turn.
All right. Without further ado, you ready to get this thing going?
Yeah, man, this is really cool. We've been talking about this one for a minute, but yep, I'm really excited. Let's do this will be our first official Cleveland Browns 7-round mock draft. So let's do it, man.
Yeah. So we'll just give a quick rundown of who was picked. It's pretty chalk. Except for Isaiah Simmons went third. Joe Burrow to the Bengals. Chase Young to the Skins. Isaiah Simmons to the Lions. Tristan Wirfs to the Giants. Are you kidding me? I want to restart this. God damn it.
Wirfs went to the
Tristan-
Giants. They're supposed to take
Oh,
Mekhi
well.
Becton. What's up with that?
We'll get Mekhi Becton went to the Dolphins. That'll be the most overpicked player
Wow.
of all time. I'm sorry. Combine doesn't make you great. Look at the tape. Tua went to the Chargers. I like that. Okuda went to the Panthers. That's a wasted player going to a team that won't be good for a while. CeeDee Lamb went to the Cardinals. I freaking love that pick. Derek Brown went to the Jaguars. I love it for the Jags. Hate it for Derek Brown. Poor soul. John, we're up at number 10. I think we should go quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the midget.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
That man is back in
Yes.
ESPN Cleveland. Love it. And we're not. That sucks.
No,
so obviously at number 10, the first person that comes to mind is Andrew Thomas. I think probably the most overlooked prospect of this class. He has absolutely zero flaws. Highest graded PFF tackle in college history. I believe, I might be making that up, but I know he was the highest graded the past 2 seasons for them. And he just has absolutely no flaws. I like him more than Jedrick Wills, to be honest. I like Jedrick Wills' athleticism. It's more fun. He's more fun to watch. But I really do think, aside from the name, Andrew Thomas could be the Browns' Joe Thomas, anchoring down the left side for Baker Mayfield for years to come.
Yeah. I think the one thing when we covered offensive line prospects, I did mention that Jedrick Wills is a right tackle. And I guess one thing I should have said, is that they asked him to play right tackle because Tua is left-handed. And so Tua's blind side is the right tackle side, not the left tackle side. And
That's
so
knowledge.
It's definitely one thing that, it's a factor. Like, it's not like I made it seem like he's a right tackle and that's all he's ever done. But they specifically said, hey, really, really good offensive lineman, can you play right tackle because Tua's left-handed? So, that is something. He still has to switch. I mean, he still has to switch the position, and, his stance is out of whack. Like, he's got to, now his left foot's back. Now he's got to worry about his left shoulder. Like, it's still different, but I don't think this is someone that can't figure that out. So,
yeah.
At any rate, I do like Thomas better. So obviously we're not doing any trading in this mock draft, of course.
No.
A
future one.
Okay. If this really, we're sitting here and we're Andrew Berry, and this, the draft falls exactly like this. I mean, if somebody calls to, hey, we really want Justin Herbert, and, we don't want, the Raiders to take him at 12 or the Colts to take him at 13. If you could drop back to, 14, let's say it's.
I think even 18's a possible place with the Dolphins.
So,
too.
And that's probably like the extent of it. If I'm really considering falling back, teams behind that could come up, but I'm saying if you're the Browns, essentially what does your board look like, right? Like, who are the guys that if we do trade back, we better end up with, this guy or whatever, because if we don't, then we're really in trouble. For me, that Xavier McKinney would be the target. Like, if I were trading down, it's because I don't necessarily think I want to take McKinney at 10, but I do really like him. He's definitely a first round talent. And, I know I can maximize value there. I can, trade back a few spots, pick up an extra pick somewhere, and then still get my guy.
Get winners when you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's a position of need. He is fantastic. We haven't done cornerbacks and safeties yet. That's coming up, but man, I can't wait to talk about him. So, but since we're staying put at this pick, is there even anyone else to entertain?
No, I mean, obviously Wills. I even think C.J. Henderson, I guess, could be entertained. Andrew Thomas, McKinney, even Fulton, honestly. But Jedrick Wills, his play style is so intriguing with Nick Chubb and that heavy zone offense. But Andrew Thomas, for me, he has the ability to play in that zone scheme, but he also has the ability to really anchor down and pass block, which I think that Jedrick Wills is missing from his game. He doesn't have we didn't see at an extent that ability to just anchor down and pass block. Tua was very mobile, and they asked him, Jedrick Wills, to do what he was best at. Jedrick Wills is best out in space, on the run, moving, hitting. I mean, just not even hitting people, annihilating people. I'm not saying he can't do that, but I guess I saw Andrew Thomas do it so much with Jake Fromm sitting back there that I like Andrew Thomas better in this situation. But, I mean, if both are gone, Jedrick Wills is not like, I guess we'll take him. He's a legitimate choice.
Kayvon Chason is the only other name that I think might, being the Browns needing, Olivier Vernon was obviously a disaster. So, no, that's good. Tell me what you think. You're not a fan?
Oh, I am a fan. I think there are edge players later on in this draft.
Yeah.
That are good as well. Obviously, he's a very good player. The thought of taking an edge rusher with our current team sucks, but then you think, okay, well, Myles Garrett didn't play last year. I don't think that'll rehappen. I don't think it will happen again, but it did happen. And then obviously Olivier Vernon hasn't played a full season in how long? So it's something you need to address. It's just this team has more holes than you think, and doing one of these really makes you feel that way. But
yeah,
are you good with taking Andrew Thomas at number 10?
Yeah, Chason was just a name to throw out just to see what you think. I don't think that's someone. And also, to be really, really honest with you, and we'll get into this more with Brendan Leister, I really hope, as we said before the pod, I really hope that Eric Armstead is a target for them, and that's you taking care of one of your other edge rusher spot with him via free agency. So, but yep. So I'm good. In lieu of trading down or anything else, I think that Thomas, you come away with a left tackle. Not only that, but possibly the best one in the draft. Which this is another before the combine. I think everybody had him at 1 basically, and now you have all these other, Wirfs went crazy, and I like him. Don't get me wrong, but Thomas probably
Andrew
just a better
Thomas
player.
is the best tackle in the class.
Yeah. So yep, I'm good. Let's do it.
All right. So we picked Andrew Thomas at 10.
Okay.
So now right off the top, you see people that pop off. You've got Winfield Jr., obviously, who has ties with Joe Woods. You have Grant Delpit, a good player. He's got a lot of range, but it's something about out of this safety group, Ashton Davis really intrigues me. He really intrigues me. Then, if you go to cornerback, I truly think, Cameron Dantzler is a first-round talent. Whether you need to go get another cornerback or not is, obviously a discussion. But there's no linebacker I really love in the second round. Maybe Willie Gay Jr., but the analytics group is not a group that is probably willing to take a risk on a John Dorsey personality.
Makes sense.
Akeem Davis-Gather obviously is really high on my list. I had him 3rd in our ranking show. I do not think he's going to, go off the board before the 3rd round, though, when you have 2 picks. So I think that's a, option for them there. But I guess if I, had to pick someone out of this group, I could be swayed between any of these 3 top safeties.
Okay.
But also, I don't have to go safety. I think the consensus Browns fans thought is you have to go safety here, but you don't. You can address that in the offseason and then later on the draft. But what are your thoughts?
So, and I know we were, because I can't see the board or anything like that, the draft board. So,
you can't see my screen?
No, I can. I see you, like I can see you, but it's, I don't know if you've shared it like you did before or whatever. So, all I see is the webcam pointing at you, which is lovely face, by the way. Lovely. So
thank you.
Top drawer. So, but yeah. So I was going to say, I'm not sure who just went before the couple picks before. And yeah.
One sec.
That's all right.
I'll reshare it. Here we go. Okay. You got it. Now you got it?
No, it's still you.
What about if you go down to that little screen sharing option? It's if you go to the hang up, go to the right, and it's the 2 screens, like overlapping. It's great content.
I know, right? This, especially for
Uh,
the podcast people, they're like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
delightful." Yeah,
Podcast people,
absolutely.
how are you doing? How are
Share
you just
screen.
how
No,
are you
just
actually doing?
let's talk. Let's talk.
But all right, I'll let you know. Jordan Love actually dropped to 38. Went to
Wow.
the Panthers to this one 38.
Okay.
Trevon Diggs went to 35. That would have been
Ooh,
my instant. I
that's a
want
good one.
him.
Yep.
Zach Bond 36. Would have loved that.
Another guy we talked about.
So I guess if you want to pull up your own mock draft, since you can't see mine now, I love that, all of a sudden Skype stopped letting you see my screen. Lovely.
It's ridiculous. It's like,
Or if you just have players in mind about, kind of that second round, I guess, area, what players you have thought.
One of the guys I was going to say was Antoine Winfield.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he is he available?
Yep.
Okay, so that's definitely somebody high on the list. And of course, this is also going to be dependent upon what they do in free agency. Obviously we talked about what's his name, Anthony Harris from Minnesota being available, and they've got a lot of ways to go with free agency. There's a couple holes that they can fill, linebacker, guard, corner, slot corner. There's a couple different things. So maybe they get, a safety, maybe they don't. But yeah, Winfield is definitely on the list for sure as far as people that I would go after. All right, I'm just setting this up right now. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to be swayed. I love Winfield, and obviously he has ties with Joe Woods, which helps his odds even better. And showing out at the draft, the draft combine does help. Played really well all of last year. I'd be okay with taking him, but I also want to entertain a thought to you. Someone who the Draft Network, I don't even see him on their list. They have a lot of people that way too low than I think. Okay, so Geno Stone out of Iowa. I've become really into this guy, and PFF is absolutely in love with him. We can talk about him later when we get to that. But all right, we're taking Winfield Jr. We're both in agreement. Okay. Winfield Jr. off the board, 41.
Kenneth Murray would be the other. I assume he was taken already.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, I was going to say Kenneth Murray. Sometimes he's available in the second. Sometimes he goes really high. Yeah, I like him a lot. It's just the upside is incredible. But, he also would be definitely a bit of a risk. So that's for sure.
Matthew Pert just went off the board 2 picks before. That's my guy. That's my table pounder. Okay.
Yes, it was.
So for those of you watching, you can see the board. For those of you listening, the top of the board is looking like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Brandon Ayuk, who, John's brother said great things about.
Wow.
Prince Tega Wanogo.
Okay.
He is ass. I hate to be blunt. He is ass. Okay. Adam Troutman from Dayton. Very, very intriguing after his combine. Damon Arnett, Bryce Hall from Virginia, Willie Gay Jr. from Mississippi State. That is tough to pass on. Troy Pride Jr. from Notre Dame, Ezra Cleveland, Terrell Burgess. Those are some of the top names. I think the biggest position of need, especially with losing 2 of them, I think we need to start looking at linebacker to see if there's a player that we don't have to reach for. The top of the board right now is looking like Willie Gay Jr., Troy Dye, Evan Weaver, Akeem Davis-Gather. I really like Akeem. So he fits into a modern-day NFL defense. Almost all defenses, unless you're playing for someone like Matt Patricia. He is, I believe he's 5'11". He's a little over 200 pounds. He is a missile. He is a heat-seeking missile. Sorry, I keep forgetting for those watching that you're up there, not over here. He rushed off the edge. I don't have the stats in front of me. We said it on the linebacker prospect show. He rushed off the edge 160 plus times. It was above 100. It might have been 190. And he had an 88 pass rushing grade by PFF when he did that at 5'11", 200 some pounds against outside tackles. So he has the ability to, one, blitz the quarterback. Two, he dropped into coverage the same amount and got an 88 PFF grade. So he can cover, he can blitz the passer. And he doesn't have any real holes in his game aside from his size. Yep. You know, is he going to get tossed by Zeus Jr. or, Villanueva? You know, those are things you have to worry about. But as your 74th pick, if you're taking a shot on a guy that, is going to be one of the faster linebackers in the NFL, he's going to be one of the better, he's good with his hands, he's good with his technique, he's able to fight off these guys. They're in the, what are they in the mountain, some terrible conference.
American, right? Aren't they in the American now?
The American, they're in the American conference, not great competition, but he's shown that he can do most everything you're going to need a linebacker to do. And on that same point, Willie Gay Jr. I think is the most upside of all these, but I can't, I'm thinking as a Browns front office personnel, they're not taking Willie Gay Jr. Troy Dye, slower, but he's great in pass coverage. He has tremendous ball skills, and he does not miss tackles. The only thing I worry about with him is, does he have the side-to-side to play with Joe Burrow now? Joe Burrow can move. Lamar Jackson. And that's why I keep reaching towards Akeem Davis-Gathers, because you have to draft somewhat to kind of play with your division. You can't just draft thinking we'll find a way to beat Lamar. Lamar's so special. You have to build to beat him, if that makes any sense. Obviously,
100%.
Don't go away from everything you're doing, but defensive wise, that's why I lean towards Gather. But that was a long speech. What are you thinking at this spot?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you absolutely have to draft to beat your division. I mean, it starts and ends there. Like you can, you win your division every year, you're going to the playoffs. So it doesn't matter what you do outside of it. You just, obviously you got to win some games to have a decent record. But yeah, bottom line is, if you can't beat the teams in your own division, so, you're toast. So it doesn't make a difference. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Dye is 6'4", 225, and Davis Gaither is 6'2", 220. So
listen, 6'2".
Yep. So a little shorter, but like you said, athletic and physical, long, lateral agility's there. Like, yes, I mean, this is the guy. This is the guy that's athletic enough to keep, an eye on Lamar Jackson, and that's what you got to do. And like you said, he spent time as an edge rusher. He's done a couple different things. I like Troy Dye just fine. There's nothing wrong with him whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, athleticism is going to win out here. And so, yeah, I'm okay with Davis Gaither for sure.
When you watch Troy Dye, you just don't see explosion. You see very solid linebacker play. He's probably going to be a good linebacker, just not in a division with, I see him playing for like the AFC, as long as they don't get Tua, the AFC East right now, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, who is athletic as hell, but he's not going to beat you side to side. He's going to beat you downhill. That's the kind of place I see him playing. Got to have the older style quarterbacks. But so you're okay with Davis Gather?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah, I'm good with that. There,
we took him. I love the squad we're putting together. Let's see.
Yeah,
he went to the Raiders.
So far, so good.
Troy Dye did.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Ezra Cleveland's off the board. Who do we got? Yeah, I was really off on him until Jordan Reed posted that tweet I shared with you about something about 3-cone speed. Ezra Cleveland was the only one this year. There was some percentile of people that you probably remember it.
Yes, I remember exactly, because this is one of the metrics that Josh Norris was talking about from Roto World. And so these are some of the things, like when I just hear these things, I make sure to take notes because they stand out, obviously. And especially when someone's going to do the research like that and dive into past, prior combines, classes, whatever, and actually provide us with some context. So the 20-yard short shuttle, a time of 4.47 or less. So of the top 23 guys that have hit that mark since 2006, 20 of them were drafted, and of those 20, those players went on to start 80% of their possible games. So you're getting, if you can get 4.47 or under, 4.46 basically or less, you've got something. And that's a guy that is draftable, not only draftable but startable, and he's going to play a while. And so athleticism, matters. Obviously, is basically what we're saying here. So that time is significant. That number is significant, obviously. And so that's definitely something to look for. And Ezra Cleveland, that's another thing. Like, I don't think you want to necessarily rely on that, but let's say Simmons falls to 10, right? And the Browns take him, or you do get an offer for, somebody's dying to get up to get Love or Herbert or something like that. So you get to move back some spots, and, you end up with whatever, McKinney, something else. Walking away with, like, if you got Josh Jones in the second round somehow, and then you walked away with Ezra Cleveland as well, like with one of those 2 third-round picks, I mean, to me, that's maximizing everything, value everywhere. Like you're really, and you might, so you don't have Andrew Thomas. Okay. But I don't know. I'm of the opinion that I don't think you necessarily need, the best left tackle in the draft, to be good.
Yeah.
Like you need to be solid up front. And you can do that in a multitude of ways. And so let's say they add a guard in free agency and you walk away with 2 tackles in this class while also adding Simmons or McKinney, maybe picking up another pick somewhere, a future second-round pick or something for moving back 6 spots, 8 spot, whatever it happens to be. I mean, that's maximizing. So, but yeah, Cleveland, yeah, definitely is a good one. So, we're up at pick 90 here. This is our second, third-round pick.
Yeah, and someone that I have it pulled up on my screen so that people can see is Geno Stone. I wanted to talk about him a little bit. So PFF actually has him ranked as the 4th safety on their big board. Winfield's 7th, Kyle Duggar's 5th, Ashton Davis is 3rd. And part of their ranking of him being 4th is, and I didn't know this, how old is he? He's not even 21 yet. He's 20 years old. And he allowed a career passer rating of 44 at safety, earned coverage grades of 90 and 85 last year and this year respectively. And he is one of the heaviest safeties in the class. He has a 33-inch vert. That's good. 116-inch broad jump. That's good. 4.6 240. That's all right. So then I went and watched him play, and I didn't remember him. I don't watch Ohio State religiously, so that might be why. But his ability to get into the backfield as a safety, whether it's a run play, a screen play, instantly made me think, oh, this is beautiful. Lamar Jackson and the option. And that is instantly what I thought. Obviously, we don't have to take him here because I know you haven't done a deep dive on him yet, so it'd be hard to get you to reach at 97, obviously. But that's just something I wanted to talk about Geno Stone with. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
So you knew that. But so at 90, for those of you watching, you can see it. For those of you listening, Adam Troutman is available from Dayton.
Oh, God, I was just going to ask if he was still there. I mean,
yeah,
okay, at this so Chase Claypool's another one that I'm guessing has probably been picked at this point, but that's another one that, although he is a wide receiver, and I don't think people are like, oh, he should play tight end, but he just destroyed the combine as a really big wide receiver.
So actually, Chase Claypool, Tyler Johnson, Michael Pittman, Quentin Cephas, Antonio Gandy Golden, the Liberty wide receiver.
Yep.
Jawan Jennings from Tennessee, maybe the most underrated player in this draft. I don't get it. They're all still available. So
not Denzel Mims.
No,
he's got to be gone.
Now he's being mocked in the first round of these things.
That's right.
So I like Chase Claypool a lot, but I would almost prefer going after Troutman, like you guys super excited about, and then waiting on a Tyler Johnson or a Michael Pittman, Antonio Gandy Golden. Like, these are all receivers that Baker Mayfield can mesh with really well. He doesn't need you to get huge separation. Last year, tell me all you want about last year. I've got 4 years of evidence to back up that he is very accurate in tight windows, doesn't need separation. So all those players fit that mold. Are you a Troutman fan? Because also Albert O is available. Okay.
Oh, I do. Yeah, well, I do like him. Although, I don't know. I like from watching them. I think Troutman's a better player. I think what's his name? Albert O. Yeah, like that's his more of the combine superstar feel, where we thought he was good, but then he ran that time, and you're like, oh my god, like wait a second, he just ran a receiver time, like this is crazy. So
yeah, he's got the most check marks. He's got the most boxes checked, but Adam Troutman has them checked and then asterisks beside some of them, which is, as an NFL tight end, see Travis Kelce, or, according to Colin Cowherd and company, look at George Kittle, who can only catch. He can't block. George Kittle is a terrible blocker. I'm looking at the camera, side-eyeing it for those of you listening. But you look at some of these, Zach Ertz and Travis Kelce, they're obviously good. They are good enough blockers. They're some of the best tight ends in NFL history. But they came into the league excelling in one thing, especially Travis Kelce. I mean, Travis Kelce's, outside of Gonzalez and Sharp, maybe one of the best receiving tight ends we have seen. I'm not going to say we'll ever see, because they're going to keep evolving in that, and they're going to keep getting worse at run blocking. But that's the kind of thing Troutman gives you, is he gives you, I'm very good at this. I can hopefully get to this level with proper coaching, not Dayton University coaching. That's no offense to Dayton. They're a small school.
Sure.
Travis Kelce played at Cincinnati, kind of the same feel, not too big. And I'm not comparing Troutman to Travis Kelce. I don't think he's that good. But you pair an athletic Njoku and a very athletic Troutman, who I think his 40 time was an anomaly. I'm excited to see if he runs something better at the Pro Day, which everyone does. So, but I think everyone's fixated on having blocking tight ends, Thaddeus Moss, all these guys, where this zone scheme is so much easier on a blocker than it is on a defender. You do not have to be an elite blocker to be able to get it done in this zone blocking scheme for these tight ends. And if Adam Troutman's available at 97, I don't see them passing on him. And I honest to God think Stefanski and this offensive group is smart enough to now know, hey, let's do what we have. Let's get something done with what we have, not what could we get done with these players, even though they're not good at it, as most coaches try to do.
Look, bottom line, the Browns just hired Kevin Stefanski to be the new head coach. And we know that tight ends are going to be on the field a lot. And let's be realistic. Let's be really good at assessing our own roster, okay? You might not have a tight end on the roster. Right? Like right now, you might legitimately not have one, right? And
I really like Steven Carlson.
Okay.
That's out there. But he cannot be your starting tight end.
But this isn't someone that's going to, like, he's not a dynamic, like, pass catcher like Troutman can be, right?
Yep.
Like, and, there isn't a Noah Fant, there isn't a TJ Hawkinson in this draft. I get that, okay? But the bottom line is, if somebody like this falls this far, like, A, you got to take advantage. B, we spent other picks. We got, we spent a pick on a tackle in the first round. Got
tackle,
Winfield.
Safety,
you
linebacker.
You got speed. Let's get some more speed. Let's get a position that matters to this coach. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's really important.
You got to look at the rest of the division. And while the Bengals are not going to be world beaters this year, and obviously I've voiced on this podcast some of my concerns with Joe Burrow and the hand size, which I know is a joke to a lot of people, but I do have that worry. They're going to be fast. Joe Burrow is going to excel in a fast offense. Get him fast receivers. We saw it in LSU. Separation. We honestly do not know. He obviously showed it enough, but it was 1 year. If Joe Burrow can consistently over career put it into tight windows, we don't know that. So you look down at Cincinnati, they've got John Ross. They're going to try to look to LSU and see what they did with Justin Jefferson, who John Ross is obviously faster. You look at the Steelers, they're slower in hell, so don't look at them. Juju Smith's their wide receiver one. I think he ran like a 4.6 40. I blown smoke. He ran a slow 40.
Yep.
Still a great player, but they're not in that they're still trying to play that old school, football. And look at the Ravens, fastest team in the league, and it's not even close. They're probably going to go get a Chase Claypool this year because they can literally draft whatever position they want. They do not have a need outside of edge rusher on this goddamn roster. They're just going to get better, which is so terrifying. Wild card spot. Add the extra one. So you got to get speed. You have to beat speed with speed. You don't beat speed with on a football field. You cannot beat speed with size. It just does not work. It does not work. It can work in basketball sometimes, but I don't know if any of that made sense. But that I'm trying to say I am all in on Troutman. He's quick. He's great pass catching ability that you just cannot teach. And at this point in the draft, you still are trying to get players that are going to start for you. Now, round 4, this is where you start to look at oh, holy crap, he did what at the combine? Like, this is where you start to take athletes, also football players, but especially around 6 and 7, you take special team athletes. That's what analytics say. That's your best shot. You're not going to get many starters in the 6th and 7th round, but all right.
No, absolutely.
So we took Troutman. Alberto is still available. And someone else that I want to bring up, Cheyenne O'Grady from Arkansas, very legitimately might be the best tight end in this class by a long shot. But just like Willie Gay Jr., a real mess off the field. And then also at tight end, Josiah DeGara from Cincy.
Yes.
He's on there. He showed up at the combine, but Troutman's better than him. And also, Harrison Bryant is available still. I don't know if that'll happen on the real day. He's a very good player. I think he's plug and play. But anyway, we look at the big board right now. Zach Moss, my boy Zach Moss, is number 1 at the top of the remaining players.
Ooh, nice.
Chase Claypool and Kenny Willekes are both available. I really like both of those players, to be honest. I think Kenny Willekes, watching Michigan State versus Ohio State the past 3-4 years, he's always making plays.
Yeah, he's team try hard. Team try hard.
Yeah, you wonder if he is able to play like a TJ Watt where he's undersized, he's not as strong, but he gets it done, technique, work. Or is he going to fall in that, I really liked Sutton last year. They got drafted by the Steelers out of Northern Illinois University. Just pure speed off the edge, not size. So you wonder if that's what's going to happen. But Kenny Willekes is there, in fact. Outside of that, going to mispronounce his first name, Leki Fotu. Utah interior defensive lineman. He can play. Okay, nope, never mind. Sorry. I just keep saying, oh, wait. Jordan Elliott of Missouri is available in the 4th round. John, I don't know if we have rules that we can do this has to be done. So let me give you a little backstory about Jordan Elliott. I'm actually just going to pull him up on the screen so you guys can see.
It's a 3rd-ranked interior. Interior D lineman.
Yeah, so I'm pulling stuff up. So let's look at highest graded interior defenders of what year was this year? I don't even know Jayshon Cornell from Ohio State. Anyway, that was 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, the 2019 season. Anyway, you guys can see this. A 90. Yeah, I guess that was 92 interior graded pass rush grade. I know I'm just saying absolutely nothing that makes sense. All right.
You're just very excited right now. It's okay.
I'm so excited. Jordan Elliott. One sec. Top 10 PFF interior defenders draft. Good Lord. Shut up, OBS. You guys hear that? Can you hear that?
I heard a ding or something. A
Yeah.
chime. What was the chime? Alarm's going off.
I'm not really. It's just like it does that every single time I click enter. All right.
Gotcha.
We're back. Sorry. Jordan Elliott, third ranked by PFF. For those of you who can see, he finished with grades of 91 in both the run and as a pass rusher in the SEC. That takes so much talent to be able to do. Oh my gosh, I just cannot believe he's available. And also, I'm just now figuring out, I think it stopped recording our screen at one point for the actual screen. So there's going to be like 20 minutes of me saying, look at the screen, and there's not going to be a screen, but we're all right. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, we're working. Worse. We're working through the kinks. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's there. But Jordan Elliott,
the podcast people are like, I don't give a shit. You don't. I can't see anything anyway.
You
so.
John, I will let you pick the 5th, 6th. Oh, we don't have 5th. I'll let you pick the 6th and 7th if you let me take Jordan Elliott here. I don't know what else to say. If you watch him, he is so powerful on the inside, moving guys left and right like Lecky Fotu. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not gonna lie. It does that same thing. If you watched Utah this year, because their defense was fun as hell to watch, Jalen Johnson and Burgess and Blackman and Francis Bernard everywhere. But Jordan Elliott, I seriously believe, outside of Kinlaw and Brown, has a very good chance to become the best defensive lineman, both edge. Okay, Chase Young too. In this class, he is so good. He is so damn good. I cannot even put words in right now. I don't know why he's available. This is the one thing that bothers me about the Draft Network, is I think some of their rankings are so odd. That's what I was talking about the other day. Just so odd to me.
Yeah.
But
yep.
If you don't want to take him, we don't have to. That was just my.
No, to be honest with you, I mean, it really, it's basically down to him and Chase Claypool, and if we have to, and we have to make a decision, obviously. I think, we're sitting there, we're Andrew Berry, we're looking at the Browns roster going, okay, well, I need to figure out what's going on in my interior defensive line. That's for sure. Cause, I really like Ogunjobi, but it seems like the season he had 2 years ago was the aberration. And I don't think he's really a starter. He's not your main guy. Maybe he can definitely be on the roster, and he seems like he's a guy that's, he's got a motor, that's for sure. And so if he's, coming in to spell somebody for a bit, no problem. That sounds good. But he's not someone you can rely upon the whole, an entire game. So that's an issue. Sheldon Richardson obviously going to be on the roster again, and that's fine because he was, I think he was good, and I think with a solid, with Garrett playing a whole season, hopefully, and a solid edge rusher on the other side, hopefully you're going to get better. But yeah, the Browns have. They're going to re-sign Rashard Higgins, and you've got obviously Beckham and Juice. So Claypool's a luxury, and as much as I would love to have him, and I really would, I just don't. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way to go with this. So yeah, absolutely. I think in defensive line is more of a position of need, D tackles. So yeah, let's do it.
Awesome, I love it. Also, John. I just started recording these screens, so actually they're not going to get to see this, but they're still going to see our lovely faces, so that's even better. Next time, folks.
It's a treat for everybody.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
So we're working out the kinks for the draft. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's good to get it out now. That's right. What draft? I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. I do think I like your point about Larry. I love Larry. I named my damn cat after Larry Ogunjobi. But there comes a time where you have to start addressing it if he can't get back up to that level. We thought it was going to be because he had too much of a load that year where him and Myles Garrett played way too many snaps. You don't know. So just got back. The top players are mostly wide receivers at this point because it's a loaded class.
Okay.
Geno Stone's up there, but Quintez Cephas is up there. Antonio Gandy Golden, who I absolutely love and fits what they need at the wide receiver position if they're going to get one.
Okay.
Lynn Bowden, that's interesting
Ooh.
because in the open field, but at the same time, it's you think OBJ in the open field. Anyway, Juwan Jennings from Tennessee, another one of what you need.
Wow.
My heart says Antonio Gandy Golden, but I see Geno Stone, and I need that. I see Francis Bernard. He's 26, but he's so talented on defense. And then my other kind of Jordan Elliott type player is Trevis Gibson of Tulsa. He has dominated year after year after year, but I don't think round 6 is the place to get him. I think if you can get him your last pick, you might try for it. If not, undrafted free agent priority. But I think you need to pick up one of these receivers before they all slip through the cracks. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to, we were eyeing Chase Claypool in the 4th round, and obviously we decided not to go that way. But yeah, I mean, it's a position of need somewhat. I mean, like I said, Claypool would be a bit of a luxury, but still, you're going to need guys, obviously, in depth. Depth is always a concern in every NFL roster. So, yeah, for sure. Yeah, God, Juwan Jennings is hard to pass up. That's for sure. So,
and that Senior Bowl, really, he outdid himself.
Tell me more about your guy, because I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I need to watch.
I'll pull up his size. Okay. Pulling it up. So he's 6'4", 230 pounds, and that's a real 6'4", real 230 pounds. Like, I don't say this a lot, but I'm going to compare him to a great. So, how many times watching those Thursday, Thanksgiving Detroit Lions games, do you remember Calvin Johnson going up between 2 defenders, getting a ball he should not have caught? He had no business catching it. Coming down, having a guy on his back, and carrying him for 5 or 6 more yards. I mean, that was just kind of like expected, right? Go get the crazy catch, drag your guy.
Do it.
That is what Antonio Gandy Golden does. But he does not yet have the route running ability that Calvin Johnson had, obviously. And I've only watched 2 of his games.
Liberty, right.
Yeah. The 2 games I watched, he did struggle against press coverage, which weird because he's so big. But my God, is he good against contact in midair, being able to go locate the ball, dragging defenders with him. Man, I don't know. It's tough because
4.6 40, 4.6 flat, 22 bench reps. This is a 36-inch vertical. He did. I bet he killed. Oh my God, 127 in the broad jump.
Oh my God.
God, that's forever. God, Brandon Ayuk had a 128 broad. Let me check his 3-cone. I bet he ran it. 7.33. Okay, so lower than 7 flat, but obviously he's a big boy too, so that's not. I guess that's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's tough to pass up. And I do like Jennings, but let me see. Did Jennings run the 40? I don't remember this, if he did.
This is something, while John does that, that's important.
Never mind.
Oh.
All right, Antonio Gandy Golden, we're good.
And I want to bring this to people's attention. You might be saying, we don't really need a wide receiver. Bring back Higgins. And they only played 2 receivers in Minnesota. Yeah, you should. Obviously, you should bring back Higgins. But I want to address the 2 receiver in Minnesota ordeal.
Right.
They only had, and for most of the season, they only had 1 because Adam Thielen is he is the guy off SpongeBob that every morning I wake up and I break my arms. Like that, he's that guy. He breaks something every single day. I might have just went right over the head of an older age group that's listening. But
oh no, everyone's a millennial who listens to this podcast. Don't worry about it. So
good.
It's all good.
My dad's 51 and
he's an honorary millennial. It's okay.
And he watched SpongeBob with us when we were little. But
see, there you go.
Yeah. They only had 2, most of the time 1, NFL caliber receivers on that Vikings roster. Do you think in this day and age with analytics, which is just numbers and not actually watching film, all this football junk, these guys are just smart. They're not good at football. Anyway, do you think they want to run 2 receivers the whole time?
No.
What is the most proven thing in football and winning and getting down the field, John?
Yeah, passing.
Yeah, I would say there's going to be a lot of sets where, if Kareem Hunt plays the whole season, I don't see this happening a lot. But say Kareem Hunt's not there, something happens. I say, it's 3rd down. Nick Chubb's been running the hell out of the ball. He needs a break. Troutman, Njoku, 3 wide receivers. They're going to do sets with more than 2 wide receivers, way more than they did in Minnesota last year. So get that out of your damn deluded minds.
Well, not only that, but
fake news.
Well, 2 things. First of all, I mean, Landry and Beckham aren't going to play every single snap all year, obviously. So, and I'm not even talking about injuries. I'm just talking about they're going to come out of the game at some point. So,
Landry
even if you run 2 receivers on every single snap for the whole entire year, you're going to need a 3rd guy and a 4th guy just to play some, snaps when those guys aren't in the game. That's number 1. Number 2, the Vikings, if you want to say, okay, they only use, it's a lot of 21 and 12 personnel, which obviously they do, but they don't use 3 receivers. They don't use 3 receivers. Okay, well, the Laquan Treadwell was a huge draft bust, and he has been on that roster. I mean, they cut him and then they re-signed him because, they just need depth. So he played a lot more than people realized last year. Olabisi Johnson is another guy. They call him BC Johnson. That's another guy who played a ton last year. And not just when Thielen was hurt. He played, a ton regardless. So Thielen, Diggs, Treadwell, BC Johnson, I mean, they're not a spread offense by any stretch, but look, even if you're going to run a lot of 12 and 21, you still need 3-4 receiver. You need depth, obviously. And taking a guy this late that's that athletic, like this is a no-brainer. So this is a fantastic pick, especially around here. I mean, it's the 6th round. Look, maybe the guy makes the roster, maybe he doesn't. You're not counting on anything at this point. And if you find somebody, this is a gem. That's fantastic. So, but I mean, aiming for guys like this, guys with that kind of size and speed and, athleticism and stuff, that's impressive as hell. I can't wait to watch this guy's tape now. This will be interesting. So, but yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
And so we're right at the end of the draft, 7th round. This is where you want to take someone that's just a flyer. And by that, I mean, could go both ways, but also is a flyer. He can fly down the field. That's at least the philosophy that I enjoy the most. You take speed guys that might turn out to something. So the first thing I looked at was the combine results. I didn't get to watch the combine that much this year because I had to work during it. But Tanner Muse, the safety from Clemson, who you notice when he plays, like he plays that very deep safety role. After I looked up one play, I recognized him. He ran, the 14th fastest 40 time at 4.41. Tanner Muse is 6'3", 230 pounds, safety. So he ran a 4.41. He was the top performing safety in the vertical jump and the broad jump. Give me 1 second, and I will pull up those numbers. Vertical jump for safety. This is great. But what this would be for is playing that slot against those tight ends. And that's my opinion of what he would do. I can't pull up what he did. But anyway, so he ran the 4.41. He was a top performer in the vertical, the broad jump. This is some, and he played for Clemson, which is huge because, if you're in the 7th round, you can get a guy with pedigree, you can get a guy with athleticism, and mix that all together, and he's very smart and intellectual on the field. And that's for a perfect marriage. But there's also other players on
4.41. Tanner Muse, 4.41, 34.5-inch vertical. I mean, This is nice for a 7th-round pick. 124 broad.
What is the combine size? Because I was just reading Draft Network size.
Oh, what his actual measurables?
Yeah.
So he was. Let me look it up. He is. 1 second. Sorry. 6'2", 227.
Ooh,
31
what
and
about
a
his
half
arms?
inch arms. 31 and a
Oh!
half.
Oh! Ooh!
So
Mama, there goes that man.
yep.
That's the person that I see that, pops right off. But then the second one, I keep coming back to him time and time again. Cameron Brown from Penn State, 6'5", 230 pounds. I mean, just the biggest thing that is a negative about him is when you watch him, you say, yeah, his athleticism is at a fault. He's running, he's going too fast for his own good. Getting juked out too easily. And I think you can find him in undrafted free agency. But John, who's someone that 7th round has been kind of someone you've been looking at in these mock drafts?
Well, some of the running backs that have fallen. So do you have can you see who's available still running back wise? Because there's a couple of these guys that have been.
Oh, damn it. We're not getting Tanner Muse. Your boy James Robinson's right at the top.
Yep.
Bastard.
Yep. That's some. What happened? Did Muse go or what?
No. Muse is still there.
because Robinson's there. I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
That's your boy.
Yep.
And I pounded the table for Jordan Elliott. I'd be okay with going with James Robinson because Tanner Muse very well might go undrafted.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be able to invite him to camp. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. Again, this is another position. I mean, obviously, the Browns are, really loaded at running back, and Kareem Hunt, suspension last year, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year. So hopefully he can stay out of trouble and everything's fine. If that's the case, I mean, you've got two guys that you can rely on. They're, largely healthy, which is great. So, running back, taking somebody in the 7th round is just a flyer, obviously. But, of course, all 7th round picks are anyways. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You really could go either way here, to be honest with you. Muse is fine. I mean, it's probably a position that you might need a little bit more. I just really like Robinson. That would be, the guy I'd pound the table for, but it's just because of personal preference and what I, have seen in him, and probably a little biased too, calling out a sleeper and then getting to draft him in the 7th round myself. And if this guy actually turned into a real NFL player, and I'm not saying he's going to ever be, he's never going to win a rushing title or something like that, but this looks like a guy that can make a roster, and for him to be available in the 7th round is just ridiculous. So,
the Browns don't have a third running back.
Yeah,
they don't have a second. They don't have a long-term second running back. So I'm okay with taking James Robinson. Tanner Muse is just a fun thing to. I foresee Tanner Muse being able to make a roster in the future and have some sort, even if it's special teams, but a running back I would say has more value than special teams possible special teams player.
We're going to call James Robinson and let him know that he's going to be the 7th round draft pick for the Browns. And then right after we get off the phone, we're going to call up Tanner Muse and say, listen, Tanner, we're going to invite you to camp, man. We know you didn't get drafted, but no big deal. Don't worry about it. He's going to be one of the non-drafted camp invitees. So so we're going to have our cake and eat it as well. So
awesome. Can we call Cameron Brown while we're at that?
Yeah, it's a conference call. We're going to call both of them. So, yep.
Cool.
Actually, Tanner Muse and Cameron Brown are hanging out, so just be like, hey, can you hand the phone to Cameron real fast? We got to talk to him too. So.
Okay. Yeah. And are the Browns letting us in the war room this year finally, or are we going to get escorted out by the police again?
We know Johnny Stanton personally, so yes. Obviously.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Johnny, get us in there.
Yeah, obviously. So
Johnny's mom favorited our podcast tweet the other day.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. Also.
Awesome.
Kind of related, kind of unrelated. JC Tretter's dad and brother both follow me, and
cool.
I tweeted one time that JC Tretter is a absolute warrior. He's playing through a high ankle sprain. I don't know a single person in the world that's ever been able to play on a high ankle sprain, and they both favorited it and actually commented back to me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
wow.
I thought about reaching out to one of them, but I was like, and now JC's the president, so there's no chance in hell he's taking his time out
to
NFL
do that, Players Association. That's really cool and good for him. So I guess I saw that he had his degree was in like labor relations or something like that, like really specific to, something like that, to that effect, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
good call. Like, this is an obvious choice. He's obviously very smart and knows what he's talking about. So,
Cornell
yeah.
too, right? He went to Cornell.
Yes. Yep. Cornell. Very good. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to the Cornell of the Midwest. BG, baby. All right.
Great.
Well, I will, for those of you listening, we will post this mock draft, a picture of the mock draft, so you guys can see who we picked again. I'll put it on Twitter. I'll put it on the website. For those of you watching, if this is something you enjoy, let us know. I think we're going to probably keep doing the video thing as far as I know, because it's so much easier to podcast. But if it's something that you like being put up on YouTube, let us know. Maybe we'll do more live streams. We'll announce it now. We're going to be doing the NFL draft, live streaming it just like this, but we will have a video up. I will make sure that is up and working right. So you don't have to, John, can you do the Mel Kiper impression? Listen to this. So you don't have to listen to this all damn night saying everyone's a good pick. Because newsflash, some picks are not good.
You talk about Justin Herbert. You talk about the big arm. Talk about the long strength. You talk about the line. Talk about I got it messed it up. I got all nervous. Got all nervous.
Long hair. You talk about Oregon. You talk about the Pac-12 defense.
Talk about size. You talk about strength, arm strength. Talk about running ability.
God, you're describing his exact 2018 draft when it was pick number 10, I believe, was what Josh Allen was. You talk about Josh Allen. You talk about the arm strength.
Yeah.
You talk about Wyoming. God, dude, it's not
accuracy issues. Everybody from the team got drafted the year before. Never his fault. He's still dying on that hill. It's not, never his fault. It can't be, it's he didn't have an offensive guard that year, so that's why he was 58% complete at Wyoming. That's why he threw for less than 2,000 yards. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, sometimes quarterbacks just have bad years. Baker Mayfield was not accurate this year. He let the line get to his head. Josh Allen was not accurate in college. If you're not accurate at Wyoming, maybe that'll translate. That's a story for another time. If you want to comment with and argue about Josh Allen and get into the playoffs, I present you with Mitchell Trubisky on a platter.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. I don't want to hear it.
God, you know what? My dad texted me after we posted the video that I bitched about Trent Dilfer getting love and Jimmy G. He said, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Yeah. I'm like, this coming from the same man that tried to disown me because I liked Ben Roethlisberger when I was 14. I don't want to hear it. No time for high grounds. But yeah, so I don't even remember how we got to. Oh, the NFL draft. We'll be doing that live on YouTube. We'll post out links everywhere. That'll be fun.
Yep.
We'll be doing a March Madness, how to fill out your bracket, how to win. John has strategies for you, especially if you're someone that's doing it. We're going to talk about if you're doing it with a group of 10, if you're doing it with a group, your whole entire office, there's different strategies to take. And then Tuesday we'll be recording with Brendan Leister talking about free agency.
Yep.
Whether or not that's going to be video, I don't know yet. And then hopefully after free agency, I am talking to someone right now in the Twitter Browns community, highly respected, that will come on, hopefully. And yeah.
Beautiful.
That's all I got.
Yep.
I'm glad the screen didn't record.
Yeah.
God,
first
technology.
Time. That's all right. People can listen along. We got this. We know who the Browns pick. That's what matters. So, like you said, we'll get this posted on the website. Make sure that we link the pod in there. And this is good times. We'll definitely be doing the video stuff more often. This was fun. So, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So, everyone, download, subscribe, go to Bovada, go to those links, and have a good one.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. See ya.